Welcome to this explainer. Today we're going to completely shatter the illusion of busyness. We live in this world that's constantly demanding our divided attention, right? And we've kind of been led to believe that doing everything all at once is the ultimate peak of human productivity, like it's some sort of badge of honor. But by diving deep into the actual neuroscience of attention, we're going to uncover a pretty startling reality. Turns out the human brain was literally never designed to multitask.
Before we get into the hard science, I've got to ask you a quick, totally honest question. Are you doing something else right now? Like, are you checking notifications on your phone, maybe answering a quick message, or browsing another tab while listening to me? Hey, it's completely natural if you are. But keep that specific action in mind, because it perfectly sets up exactly what we're about to explore.
See, we all fall into what's called the multitasking trap. We answer messages while watching videos, we try to do deep work while keeping one eye on our notifications, and we listen in on important meetings while, let's be honest, casually scrolling through social media. In the moment, it feels highly productive, doesn't it? Like you're absolutely crushing it? But neuroscience reveals a completely shocking truth about what's actually happening inside your head. The human brain absolutely cannot truly multitask on complex tasks.
Section 1. The multitasking illusion. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so here is the first major paradigm shift. Attention is genuinely one of your brain's most severely limited resources. There's this massive contrast between our illusion of doing everything at once versus the brain's physical reality. You think you're parallel processing, like a high-end computer, but your brain, it's actually rapidly, frantically jumping back and forth between activities. Your perception is simultaneous attention, but the biological reality is just rapid task switching.
Now you might be thinking, hold on, I can walk and chew gum at the same time. And yeah, you're totally right. Simple, automatic actions can easily share neural resources. You can walk while talking, drink water while thinking, or listen to your favorite music while cleaning the house. But when it comes to complex cognitive tasks, they fiercely compete for your brain's limited attention. Think about writing while texting, studying while watching videos, or driving while reading messages. In these situations, the brain doesn't split its focus. It just rapidly switches attention back and forth. And every single switch brutally interrupts your mental processing.
Moving on to Section 2, the hidden switching cost.
So this rapid jumping back and forth, it is definitely not free. It builds up a massive hidden tax on your brain. Every single time your attention changes tasks, even for just a split second to glance at a notification, your brain is forced to furiously execute 4 incredibly draining steps entirely behind the scenes. First, it has to completely disengage from your current context. Second, it physically reorients your neural pathways toward the new distraction. Third, it has to reload the relevant information for that new task straight from your working memory. And fourth, it has to actively suppress the goals of whatever you were just doing so they don't interfere. It's a lot of work.
So, the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that this 4-step process consumes huge amounts of mental energy. Psychologists actually call this the switching cost, and every brief interruption severely reduces your performance. After a distraction, your brain needs valuable time to fully recover its focus. This means constant multitasking continuously fragments your attention, and that leads directly to slower thinking, way more mistakes, and a severely reduced ability to comprehend what you're doing.
And this perfectly illustrates exactly why multitasking destroys our memory. Focused attention is absolutely essential for encoding information into your brain. When your attention is divided, you end up with incredibly shallow processing. This is exactly why you might forget details from conversations, miss vital info during a lecture, or find yourself reading the exact same paragraph 4 times in a row without absorbing a single word. Busyness absolutely does not equal deep processing.
Section 3, how tech hijacks attention.
So, if multitasking is really that draining, why do we constantly do it to ourselves? Well, the answer lies in something called the orienting response. Modern technology is deliberately designed around capturing your attention. Every single ping, buzz, or pop-up triggers a deep, automatic survival instinct. It's a neural shift toward potential new information. By constantly triggering this response, technology is literally conditioning your nervous system to expect continuous novelty, and that makes sustained focus feel incredibly uncomfortable.
Which brings us to a really fascinating paradox. If multitasking is so inefficient, why does it actually feel productive? It's because rapid switching generates novelty, and novelty floods your brain with dopamine spikes. Basically, your brain falsely interprets constant, frantic activity as high engagement. So this busyness creates psychological stimulation that tricks you into feeling incredibly productive. But beneath the surface, your actual performance, your meaningful work, and your deep thinking are quietly plummeting. You are quite literally trading actual effectiveness for a pure illusion of productivity.
All right, Section 4, the stress of busyness.
There's a very real physical and emotional dark side to all of this rapid-fire stimulation. When you constantly jump between tasks, you leave them partially activated in your brain without ever fully completing them mentally. And as these unfinished mental loops pile up, your cognitive control systems get pushed right to the brink. This overload leads to severe mental fatigue, elevated stress hormones, and major decision exhaustion. It's that familiar, intense feeling of being utterly overwhelmed, despite the fact that you're constantly doing things.
Which leads us to Section 5, the deep focus advantage.
Thankfully, neuroscience doesn't just point out the problem, it also provides the antidote. Human beings perform at their absolute peak when they are fully engaged with one demanding task at a time. When you stabilize your attention on a single goal, your brain stops paying those hidden switching costs we talked about, and it enters an incredibly efficient processing state. Your memory formation enhances, your creativity skyrockets, and your consciousness finally stops feeling so intensely fragmented. It's a total game changer.
To really grasp this, we have to understand one of the deepest truths revealed by neuroscience. Consciousness actually has bottlenecks. You literally cannot fully process multiple complex streams at once. Instead, your consciousness moves rapidly between them, stitching experiences together to give you this flawless illusion of continuity. It's a truly fascinating structural reality. Your mind hides attentional switching exactly like your vision hides your eye blinks. You don't see the dark gaps, but trust me, they are definitely there.
This entire explainer really boils down to one profound concept. This isn't just some productivity hack about getting more work done faster. Your attention is so much more powerful than that. It is the literal architect of your life. Attention determines what enters your awareness, what gets remembered, what feels emotionally significant, and even how you perceive the passage of time. What you focus on literally constructs your reality moment by moment.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final thought to ponder. If your attention shapes your perception, and the human mind was never designed to focus on everything at once, is the fleeting dopamine hit of trying to multitask really worth the long-term cost? What happens to your life, your memories, and your daily experience when your reality is forever fragmented? Thank you so much for exploring the science of attention with me today.